In this episode of Cook the Basics, we are doing Canada edition. We are going to be cooking a dish that was made famous in Montreal. Poutine.
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 Poutine was completely unknown in the mid-20th century. It is a combination of fresh cut fries, cheese curds, and gravy. It first appeared in rural Quebec snack bars in the late 50s. There are many different additional toppings that people add to poutine, but in this video we're gonna focus on just the regular traditional poutine. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and let's get started. And what you need to start with for poutine is some potatoes. I've got about 4 pounds of russet potatoes here, Idaho potatoes, you know, regular potatoes. Yeah, I'm gonna start this pot of water. I've got 2 quarts of water in here, and we are going to add 2 tablespoons of salt and a half a teaspoon of baking soda to that while we peel our potatoes here. Because what we're going to want to do is cut our fries into very thick steak fries and then boil them before we bake them. So the salt is to season the fries, and the baking soda in the water makes the water alkaline, which helps break down the surface of the potatoes. That way when they bake or fry, if you're going to fry them instead of bake them, they will be much crispier than if you were to skip the baking soda at this part. When you cut your potatoes, you want to make sure that you cut them nice and thick. That way when you boil them, they don't fall apart. So now we've got all of our potatoes cut. We're going to put them here in the boiling water so they're fairly thick cut. We're going to boil them for maybe 8 minutes. We want to make sure that they're done on the inside. They will bake up crispy on the outside and be nice and fluffy on the inside. Okay. Alright, they're done. They're soft. Now we drain. And we let them continue to drain until they cool, so all the water is out of them. So our potatoes, they boiled for about 10 minutes ish. They're soft, but they're not mashed potato soft. Like, you want them just before they're mashed potato soft. I've kind of spread them out a little bit over several dishes. But that white flakiness you see on your potatoes, that's a good thing. That's going to make crunch. So we want to I'll probably take 2 batches because I ended up with a good amount of potatoes and I really don't want to break them because they look good and I have tasted them, and with that water salted perfectly, man, they're good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take vegetable oil, and if I can find it, what the hell did I do with my vegetable? Where the hell is my vegetable oil? Alright, so I'm going to put a little bit. Now I'm going to put 1, glug. I don't know how much is in a glug. Twice. That's the second one I put in there. So that's how much vegetable oil I put in my potatoes. And it's about, I'm guessing it's about 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds potatoes. Put a little bit of pepper in there and just gently toss them. Don't get too rowdy with these. They're already cooked and you don't want them to break. So I'm gonna pour our potatoes into our pan here. Spread them out. Okay, we're gonna spread them out into a single layer because you want them to come in contact with the bottom of the pan. We're gonna get nice and crispy on one side, and then we're gonna let them bake for about 20 minutes. Flip them over and get nice and crispy on the other side. So while these bake, I am going to start our gravy for the poutine. Okay, that looks good. I'm gonna put it in the oven, 450, 20 minutes, and then we'll check. They don't look very crisp right now. Hush. We're gonna make sure we flip them all over so the uncrispy side is touching the pan, so when it goes back in, it'll be crispy. They also look something like that. And we're gonna cook them for 20 more minutes, or until they're all crispy like that. I mean, it might be a little bit longer. You might need to flip them again. We'll see what happens. Now we need to make the gravy. Turn this on to medium high. I did try to make gravy earlier with a roux. It was not successful. I have never been able to make gravy with a roux. I am just not that talented, I guess. I did look up a few videos on how to make it with cornstarch as the thickener. So I've got 4 cups or 32 ounces of beef broth there. We're gonna bring that to a boil. We are going to add to that 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce. I got this from HelloFresh. It says it's 1 ounce of soy sauce. I think that's about a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, somewhere in the neighborhood of, I'll find it. 2 teaspoons of onion powder, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, and 1 teaspoon of black pepper, and we'll add more later to taste. Hey. Alright, so now we've got all the flavorful stuff in there. We're gonna let that heat up, and I'm gonna go see what the hell this dog needs. So, that's been boiling. I wanted to make sure that the flavors of the seasonings kind of didn't taste like dog. I swear, it's just somebody outside on a it's just somebody on a motorcycle. Are you jealous you don't have a motorcycle? Well, I know. I'm not getting you a motorcycle. All right. Anyway, now that that's done, okay, so this is on high. We're gonna reduce this to about medium, and this is our slurry here. We have about 4 tablespoons of cornstarch and a little over 3/4 of a cup of water, just enough to make it a slurry, so it doesn't. You don't want your cornstarch to clump up. We're gonna need to keep mixing because it's gonna thicken a bunch, so we don't want it to get lumpy. So while I was making this gravy, I decided that since I had frozen French fries and some mozzarella in the fridge and packets of gravy in the cabinet, I would make a knockoff poutine for my husband to taste and compare the two. All right, so like the consistency is good, like it's very gravy-like, but I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can see all those white specks. That's the seasoning. That's the spices. That's the onion and garlic powder, and that is giving it a grainy texture, and it's kind of gross. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put in 4 more cups of beef stock and leave it on low and let it simmer, and hopefully it'll sort itself out because it's starting to make me very aggravated. So these are the homemade fries with the homemade gravy. These are the store-bought frozen fries with the packet gravy. I'm gonna put some mozzarella pearls over here with the packet gravy and frozen fries, and then we're gonna make the homemade fries and gravy with these fresh cheese curds. I mean, you can see the difference between the cheese curds and the mozzarella pearls, but you know, I'm not to taste it. There's homemade gravy on here. We'll see what we think of each.
We're going over the border to Canada for some French fries and gravy, sir.
Poutine.
All right, so that's the 100% homemade poutine with the actual cheese curds.
Really good. I don't know why you got so mad with the gravy. It's not bad. It's really good.
That's the frozen French fries with the mozzarella pearls and packet gravy, or knockoff poutine.
Fake poutine.
Fake poutine. The cheese is much more melty.
It is. gravy is thicker on this one, the packet gravy. I like this one better. The gravy and the fries. The fries are really good. The cheese curds they are what they are. They're a little more melted on this one. They're both really good. I can eat both of these, both plates. Probably. Maybe not one sitting would be the best idea, but I could probably eat all of it. It's both really good. It turned out really good.
So you ready to move to Canada?
A long time ago, baby.
I mean, they have poutine and hockey, so.
Exactly. And later, Kenny.
How are you now?
Not so bad.
Good, and you?
Not too bad.
Thanks for watching. I hope you liked that video. If you did, make sure you click the like button. If you haven't already, make sure you hit subscribe and click that little bell icon that way you know every time I upload a video. I'm gonna go get a passport for me and my husband so we can, you know, head on up north and try the real stuff. See you later. Bye.